For 250 years, we have struggled under the burden and rigors of slavery. We were maimed, we were brutalized, we were ravaged in every way. The cries raised all over the world of Canada for the Canadians, of America for the Americans, of England for the English, of France for the French, of Germany for the Germans. Do you think it unreasonable that we, the blacks of the world, should raise the cry of Africa for the Africans?
Marcus Garvey was one of the most influential and visionary leaders of the 20th century. His work touched the lives of millions and continues to inspire movements around the world. In this video, we're going to explore 5 key reasons why Marcus Garvey was brilliant and important, focusing on his leadership, his vision for African unity, and his contributions to Black empowerment. Reason number 1 why Marcus Garvey was important was his vision of Pan-Africanism. Garvey's belief in Pan-Africanism, the idea that all people of African descent were family and that they should unite across the world, was groundbreaking. He advocated for African self-determination, arguing that Africa should be for African people. He spearheaded the movement for the repatriation of African Americans back to Africa, believing in the establishment of a powerful, united Africa. His movement, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, or the UNIA, spread the message of global African unity long before it became a more widespread idea. The second reason that Marcus Garvey was important is because of his emphasis on economic empowerment. Garvey understood the importance of economic independence and established businesses and organizations to uplift Black communities economically. He founded the Black Star Line, a shipping company that sought to trade and transport goods between the African nations and the Americas. He promoted the idea of buy Black long before it became a popular economic principle. His philosophy stressed building independent financial systems, understanding that true empowerment needed an economic foundation. Reason number 3 why Marcus Garvey was so important was his mass mobilization and organizational skills. Garvey's ability to organize and mobilize millions of people around the world made him a remarkable leader. The UNIA became one of the largest Black movements in history, with millions of members and followers. Garvey held massive rallies and spoke to huge crowds, inspiring a generation of Black people to embrace Black pride and Black unity. His charisma and organizational skills brought people together in ways that were really unprecedented at that time. The fourth reason why Marcus Garvey is so important to Black people and Black liberation was his intense promotion of Black pride and identity. Marcus Garvey emphasized pride in Black heritage, and he did it at a time when people of African descent were largely marginalized. His motto, Africa for the Africans, instilled pride in Black identity, fostering a sense of belonging and self-worth. The UNIA's focus on cultural uplift through newspapers, schools, and churches helped to create a positive Black identity. Garvey challenged the racist ideologies of the time, instead insisting that Black people take pride in their history, culture, and potential. The fifth reason that Marcus Garvey was and is so important is his legacy and influence on future movements. Garvey's ideas influenced future generations of civil rights and Black power leaders and liberation movements, leaving a lasting legacy. His philosophy influenced notable figures like Malcolm X, Dr. King, and Kwame Nkrumah. The Pan-African and civil rights movements of the 20th century were deeply inspired by Garvey's work. Today, his legacy lives on in discussions of African unity, economic empowerment, and cultural pride, and we should take note that the Rastafarian movement was largely founded based on the writings and teachings of Marcus Garvey.
When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black, and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up with God's strength and blessing to lead the millions up the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm, look for you have grace. I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa, to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life.